and welcome to the round 5 preview as the Blues take on the Adelaide Crows at 4:35 p.m. Saturday afternoon, Marvel Stadium. Perfect timing. I'm selfish. I like 4:35 p.m. Saturday games, well, Saturday Arvo games essentially, because it means we get to come home at a reasonable time, get the fan cams done at a reasonable time, and we don't have to be up until 2 a.m. doing the fan cams, which I don't mind, but I would prefer to start a little earlier and finish a little earlier. Wow, so much has happened this week. A lot of fallout from the Fremantle game. I mean, really over it, to be honest. The level of fallout's been pretty fascinating. I guess that's just what happens when you are Carlton and you are in the headlines. Things just seem to linger somewhat longer than what they should. But nonetheless, there's just as hungry opposition awaiting us this week. And that's the Crows, who are winless from their 4 games. And I guess, if you're an Adelaide supporter, please feel free to contribute to what I'm about to say, because I'm pretty shocked to see it, if I'm honest. I had Adelaide firmly in the top 8 this year. I think the way that their season ended last year, the heartbreak reminded me of Carlton 2022, and you have a little bit of heartbreak that is seemingly a little unfair and cruel, and it spurs you on in the preseason, and you come into a new season, and then away you go. And so to see their inability to connect with each other and not be fully aligned on the same page, and they undo a lot of their great work. They're the best team in the league at getting their first hand to the ball when it comes to hit-outs. They've got great midfielders. They've got all the pieces. From the outside looking in, I feel like they've got everything. But they're just lacking that cohesion and that connection and that spark. I'm sure it'll come. No doubt about it. They're too good of a list for it not to be figured out. But I guess if you are an Adelaide supporter and you're watching this, what is it? What's going on? Because I think everyone in the competition expected the Crows to be one of the top 8 sides come the end of it. And they still might. It's very early in the season. I'm not writing them off. They're just not playing at their best. And hopefully, for our sake, that continues this week. I am grateful that we're not playing this game at the Adelaide Oval. Would much rather play it at Marvel Stadium for obvious reasons. But yeah, I'm wary of a hungry Adelaide. But also at the same time, it's a great test for us to get the best, most fierce version of the Crows. And hopefully for us, we can keep them thinking a little too much about the result and not the process. And we can damage them on the scoreboard early and put the game away. But we will see. There's a few bits and pieces from the Carlton end. So firstly, Lockie Fogarty hurt his wrist, which coincides with the fact that we didn't appeal the 1-week suspension for the hit on Nat Fyfe. So it is what it is. We're going to lose him. And that's a big loss because he's been a key role player in the side. I think the pressure he brings in the forward half of the ground and, his ability to be a really good, solid midfielder in the forward half of the ground is going to be hard to replace. But there are options. There is depth. Whether Matt always just gets elevated to starting on the field, we'll see. Elijah Hollands has pulled up sore, but it doesn't look like he's going to miss weeks. If anything, he may miss this week. Vossi said that he was sore, but he'll be a test. So that's much better news than what I initially feared when I saw him. And, selfishly, he's in my fantasy draft team. So I want to keep him in there and hopefully he can pull up well. I think Zach Williams, a few rumours going around that he had a hamstring. Not the case. Copped a knock late in the game to his knee with that contest at the end where he kicked the ball to Charlie Curnow. But I don't know who started that rumour, but that's interesting. Channel 7, I think, ran with it. So maybe we can put them on Media Watch this week. But he's okay. And then the big one, Sam Walsh. He's going to play if he gets through. Inshallah. Don't want to jinx it, but if he gets through training, which from all reports from Cripper and from the players that have talked about him, he's been training well, full training. He's back to his, healthy self, then he will play. And that's super exciting because the conversation this week's obviously turned into what Carlton are not doing. And I find that so interesting. If you are looking for something wrong, you're going to find it. If you're looking for something right, you're also going to find it. So I'm fascinated with why there is an obsession with what's not working Maybe it's just to not get too ahead of ourselves. But I just think we're in the grind of the season, in particular now. We're in the grind of it. We're winning games. It's not pretty. It's never going to be pretty every week. We come up against a side that's going to bring it to us. We're at Marvel, better conditions for our forwards, be a dry game. So, we'll see. And, the midfield is obviously missing one of its key components, and that is Sam Walsh. So I'd be very surprised if he came in and we didn't look better as a midfield group. And it'll also be his 100th game if he does play, which is an awesome milestone for him. So fingers crossed he gets through and he plays this week. Blake Acres is the other one. 150 games in the AFL across a few clubs. I don't know. I wonder how he views himself. Does he view himself? Nah, he's a Carlton boy. Nah, he's a Carlton player. He's done too many great things for the Carlton Football Club already. It's been a very short time with him. Hopefully we've got many more years to come. But he's been awesome. Talk about a guy that plays his role. One of the better wingmen in the league. And when you think about what we actually gave up to get him, or what we got him for, the investment, it's pretty remarkable. So it's been a good story so far, and long may it continue. And yeah, I think the other question marks that come up are, who's going to come in. We heard about Walsh. Marchbank would have completed his 12-day concussion protocol as of Wednesday. But then the question remains, do you give him a week in the VFL? Does Kemp just stay where he is? It is an interesting one that they did experiment with Kemp in the forward line when he did play in the VFL a few weeks ago. So, and I mean, in parallel to that, we are certainly missing something in the forward line. You just get the feeling it's not complete. So as the pieces become available through health and, getting over their injuries, we'll find out more. And I am curious, is this a week where we try something different in the forward line? At the moment we're playing with 3 or 4 smalls, with Harry and Charlie. Cripps has been resting forward at times. Kennedy's been resting forward at times. So yeah, there's a few things happening there. I would be interested to, read through your thoughts and your comments around our forward line and the mix and what it looks like now and what you would like to see. We won't be able to make the decision in the end, but, we will talk about it. And yeah, I think this promises to be a tough contest. I think the next couple of months, we come up against sides who, each in their own right will present so many different challenges, but we are playing quality sides for the next few months now. This is a really tough stretch in the season. I mean, to be fair, when isn't it a tough stretch of the season? The competition's so fierce. The game is so hard. Wins are really hard to come by, let alone 4 from 4. So, we're going okay. I think we're going pretty well. I think we're finding new ways to win, which is a good thing. And I think Adelaide will present with us something where we need to find another way to win. So excited. Got my sister back this week. Going to the footy with her. That's awesome. I love that. And yeah, should be a good day. Should be a good contest, and see what happens. What about you? What are you doing this week? You going? Are you staying home? What are your general thoughts and about the themes and issues that come up from this game? And if you've watched Adelaide, detail what you think about them. And if you're an Adelaide supporter, well, first of all, welcome to the channel. What is this? What is happening? I said it earlier in the video, but what is your take on the Crows? I'll obviously not have the answer because I don't watch the Crows as closely as what I do the Blues, but I am curious because I have found myself wondering how they've started the way that they have. I expected them to be bursting out the gates after the way the season ended last year. And yeah, maybe shed some light on what the story is. Chat to you in the comments. We'll go from there. Go Blues.